So what is the flow experience?
And dude, everything starts coming really flowing and almost...
The flow experience is an experience people get into. They often describe it as like being in the zone. You are involved in a task that is very demanding.
It's a state of relaxed, high performance. That's the zone.
And the flow state is one in which the demands of the situation just slightly go beyond your skill abilities and extend my skills to meet the demands. So I have to put everything I've got into it. Then I get into the flow channel. As your skills improve, your environment also improves. What are other things that people do to get into the flow state?
It's not just sports. It's anything where you're able to just do it and block out distractions. You're in this state of perfect focus, not even consciously thinking about things or processing moment by moment.
And the flow state is deeply, deeply positive for people. It's not the same thing as physical pleasure. The flow state is much more connected to meaning in life. In fact, the more often you get into the flow state, the more likely you will rate your life as meaningful.
You can prepare for it. Be well rested, smart, hard practice. Ignore distractions. Part of that could be meditation.
The thing about the flow state, it's a universal. People across cultures, socioeconomic groups, age groups, language, genders, and they describe it in detail almost exactly the same way. That's a universal. And universals are important in cognitive science. You pay attention to the universals because they give you profound insight into the machinery. What's it like to be in the flow state? Well, when you're in the flow state, you feel like you're deeply at one with things. So for example, I'm a martial artist, and when I'm sparring, it's like my sense of connectedness to my opponent is really enhanced. That comes with it this kind of spontaneity. It flows out of me, hence the word, right? And the block is there. The hockey player, the goalie, the glove hand and the puck is there. At one level, you know that there's tremendous metabolic energy at work. Effort. You're making, at one level, all this effort. At another level, it feels effortless. That's the spontaneity. Again, it just seems to flow from you. Your sense of time is passing differently. Your sense of self is being dramatically altered. A kind of self-consciousness disappears. It's gone. Because there's no space for all of that. The other thing about the flow state is it's super salient. It's like the kind of brightness and vividness you get in a video game. The world seems more intense, and people really like this experience. Many people regard it as the best experiences they can have, but it's also where they're doing their very best. That's why it's so motivating to get into the flow state. Why is the flow state so good? You need skills and demand to be matched, and failure has to matter. It has to be costly to you in some fashion. Training in mindfulness, the more people have training in mindfulness, increases their capacity to get into the flow state. Train yourself to break the frame, change what you're finding relevant and salient, and then change yourself to fit that. Then you have to do it again, and then you have to do it again, and then you have to do it again. This idea of a cascade of insights. You're having an insight that's leading to another insight, that's leading to another insight, right? It's priming. You know when you have like an insight, you have like, aha, and you get that sort of burst of energy, and it's like a flash. Now imagine if I took that aha and I extended it. Aha. That's the flow state. So the more you flow, the more you're training your ability. And then this is what you do. You generate a huge number of these strings, and you just show them to people. Here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one. But there's something more.
It's about how your brain has learned to use it in exactly that context. And that's why the best physical training is the training that best approximates exactly what you're doing on game day. The thing is, this is relevant to all of us because we all have a brain, we all have a body, we all want to reach our potential. Everybody can have this sensation of, wow, I nailed that.